Hi, welcome. This is class number 4. Um, this is a class based around the last kind of physical principle of therapeutic feminine movement, and that is really opening the throat and opening the throat in a way that is really coherent with the rest of your body. So, not just, again, the thing with the tail, like how you could just up, push your butt back and untuck your tail, but really engaging and bringing your entire structure, your physical structure online to then have this coherent opening through through the throat as the last piece. So if we think about the kind of alignment structure that we've been slowly building on in these last 3 classes, the first is untucking the tail, really finding your own sense of safety. Remember that the curved in shape, the tucked tail, is a psychosomatic posture. It's a communication both to yourself and to the outer world of fear. So we're untucking the tail. That's the first principle. And then lifting the back of the heart and lifting all 4 corners of the rib cage. So making more space for the tail and the low back to be free. And then energetically, it's like, do I have my own back? Do I trust myself? And also, what is backing me in my life so that I can really open to this incredible intelligence that is just waiting to be revealed inside of me, is how I think about it. So do I have my own back, and do I trust what's going to happen when I open to this tremendous life force? Do I trust that I'm held? And what is your relationship with something greater than yourself? And then the third principle of softening the belly, and again bringing like a softness into your animal body and finding a sense of interior sensuality, internally oriented sensuality, where it's not about what you look like, and it's not about, do I have the right body? Do I look funny here? But what am I feeling from the inside out? And how is that feeling a great intelligence, and actually the intelligence of that primal eros that we are seeking to contact? And then the fourth principle, so soft belly, open heart, supported back, untucked tail, and then the throat. And the the opening of the throat for me on a physical level is really tied to both the energetic level of this, the throat chakra, Vishuddha chakra, this being the center of expression, and also in the greater sense of like, am I expressed in my life? Am I really myself in this life? And the majority of women that I work with, and really the path that has been my own, has been remembering the core of who we are, and then creating the foundations within ourselves to then be able to show the world that and express that into the world. So for me, this is really like the apex of all of the work, everything that we do. The opening to Eros, the opening to this greater intelligence, is so that we can allow it to move through us and be expressed through us. And that's really what I want this practice today to focus on. So the physical element being the opening of the throat, and the more energetic spiritual element being like, where is my expression, and where am I holding back, and why? And how can I really hold myself with such dignity and self-honoring and self-reverent that it becomes natural that I want to share who I am with the world, and that I feel safe to do that. So the first thing that I want you to do in this practice today, we're going to do a bit of a grounding practice. And I'm going to invite you to, again, come onto your block, grab it. If you don't have one, you can use something else, a pillow. And with your sit bones rested on the block, activate the feet. This is the first part of really anchoring into the legs, activating the legs, sourcing your own sense of safety. Activate the feet, push your knees isometrically forward to feel the tail untuck and unfurl. And then keep that activation, keep that holding in your legs. It is quite an active pose. And then fill the side ribs, the back base ribs, the front ribs. Fill and lift from the inside out. And here you may even do a few side movements, maybe get into the back body a bit. You can do a bit of a skip rope, a spiral with the heart. And then with your upper body lifted, make sure that you haven't lost that connection to your legs. So go back down into your hips and your pelvis. Let everything soften, especially the belly. It's like we're really building one on top of the other, lifting the ribs and the rib cage, softening the belly and rooting back down into the pelvic bowl. And then I'm going to invite you to, with that softening of your belly, feel a length emerge through your whole front side. And with that, lift your chin, open your throat. And here, I'm going to invite you to bring your hand to the back of your head. Bring your hand to just above the occiput, that place where the back of the head kind of caves in. Bring your thumb there. Bring your elbow in so you're not laying the arm out and punching the shoulder blade. Arm in, and I'm going to invite you to work with the hands here to lift up through your cervical spine, through your neck. And then really gently with the hand, press back into the head to bring a gentle opening into the throat. And this is really a subtle dance of like, okay, where do I feel like it's too much? And where do I feel like just enough support? Can you find that support in your own body? Root back down into your pelvis. Soften, lengthen. Keep the rootedness through your hips and lift up through the back of the heart. Let the breath fill your ribs and then open through the throat. And there's that subtle pressure of the hand supporting so there's not collapse here. And then release your hand, and your gaze should be more or less at the horizon. I'm going to invite you to turn your gaze away from the screen and bring your hands out. So we'll start forward facing, pressing out with the hands. And I want you to get a sense of like, okay, this is my physical body, but your body has an electromagnetic frequency. It has a pulse. There's an energy body that you have. So I'm going to invite you to feel the space around your body. Feel the space that your body truly takes up. Find the edges of your energy body. And kind of play here. Okay, where do my fingertips sense the edge? And maybe it's even beyond the borders of what your hands can extend, of what they can reach. And then turn to the side, and we'll do that to the side and the side. And I want you to claim your space. Become territorial of this space. Like, this is my area. What does it feel like? And it's not about, okay, make yourself big or make yourself different. It's just like, where do the natural edges of myself extend so that I'm aware? And this is how we start to know our own containment. We start to know, this is my body, this is my space. What happens a lot of times, especially with women, especially with deeply feeling women, sensitive women, more parasympathetic, dominant women, is we lose ourselves in the other. Maybe we're okay to feel ourselves when we're alone, but we lose ourselves in the world because, wow, that's a lot of stimulus, and I can feel the needs of other people, and we lose the center from which we can and should move to be a fully integrated, present being, woman, right? That if we're not connected to that center, how is our own life force going to move through us? It's going to probably spill onto others and not be very conscious of where it's going. We're not going to be very conscious of where it's going. So I want you to really mark your space. Like, this is me, and this is the space that I take up. And this is, you can even think of it like a protective little bubble. Do I let people into this bubble? Do I not? Who do I let in? What do I let in? And often with having boundaries, stating our boundaries, asserting our boundaries, the thing that we really need is a little bit of space between ourselves and the situation, ourselves and the person. We need space, we need time to really feel, okay, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? And so feel this space that you are making sacred right here and now. What do I want in this space? Because if we don't feel safe, if we feel like we are really beholden or tethered to others, that our safety depends on others, we're not going to be able to access this gift of expression, like true, authentic, like, this is who I am expression. So we're going to start here on hands and knees and really work through these foundations together. So find your position on hands and knees. I'm going to move a little closer. Okay. Now press the tops of your feet down into the floor. Press your knees forward. Feel your sit bones widen. Feel your thigh bones go back. And then as you come forward, feel the back of your heart as you bring your chest and heart forward. Open your throat here. And we're going to pulse. The legs stay active, but the movement changes as we move back and forth. So as we come back, the sit bones widen. Keep the legs active, keep the sit bones apart, but fill the back of your heart and open your throat. And you may here start to feel that same kind of tension between the upper body and the lower body, which is actually a great tension. The upper and lower bodies moving in opposite directions, lengthening your belly and creating a lot of space. And that's really what we're remembering in this practice. Space, space in my physical body, space for myself, for who I am. And then keep the legs engaged. And it almost feels like my teacher says mound the glutes, right? It's like the glutes are lifting up. So often our glutes are moving down. So as you push back, feel the sit bones widen. And then as you come forward, mound your glutes. You might feel the glutes, the thighs, or not the thighs, the hamstrings rather, engage. Come forward and lift the heart. Keep the legs engaged. Keep the space in your sit bones. And then start to play here with the back body. Lifting through the back of the heart. And you want your hands here to feel quite light. So if you feel like if you notice you're dumping in your shoulders, there's a lot of weight in the hands, lift your heart to get light through the hands. The hands can be slightly forward of the shoulders. And think not just, oh, this feels good, but how can I open up space in my body? I used to do a lot of ecstatic dance and five rhythms, which I really loved and which was so important for my journey. I still love. But what would happen in these practices is that I would just override and really fall into these habitual patterns in my body because it felt good, because it felt, oh, this feels so good. But what I was doing was maybe hyperextending or dumping or collapsing. So I want you to find this principle of integrity in your body. I'm holding myself. I'm holding all four principles. Untucked tail, open heart, soft belly, open throat. And then if I keep that template and I'm aware of it, how does my body want to move here? How does it not want to move? Ah. And we're going to stay in this all fours position, coming down onto your forearms if you need a break through the shoulders. And I'm going to invite you to really start to bring in some toning here. You may shift into a sway of the hips. That actually feels really good for me right now. Might feel good for you too. So a sway, and then a toning through the mouth. And a toning is just a way of making a sound. And sound is such a such an important way of accessing our voice. It is our voice. And doing it in a way where we can maybe have fun with it and also tap into the sound that is quite primal. So not a sound that is, oh, this sounds good. This is my singing voice, but this is my animal body expressing itself because that is how I'm allowing the energy to flow right now. So take a deep breath in. Let's do one more. And I want you to pause here. You may keep a little bit of movement in the body, but pause the sound and notice what impact that had on your body. Did you feel some heat? Was there an emotion? Was there maybe some embarrassment or um, fear? And give yourself a moment to digest that experience through the movement of your body. Follow the sensation and move as you feel. Digest that feeling. And if you feel nothing, that's also information. So give that space to digest and integrate. And we'll do that one more time. Now, this time, we're going to be just a little bit more primal. The tongue out, a big exhale, a big throaty exhale. Inhale through the nose. And just notice. Try to allow whatever the mind is saying, whatever the, you know, thoughts, preferences of the mind, let that be there. But can you drop down to the level of sensation? How did that feel in my body? What stirred? What is the temperature of what I feel? What's the texture? Okay. And now we're going to move into a standing position. And we're going to find the foundation of the body. Okay. So the feet are hip distance apart. I'm going to give you a side view here of these principles. So press the feet down, root the feet down, draw the knees forward to press the hips back. And again, it's like notice the tendency to want to be in straight lines, for the butt to want to go down, for our posture to take on this or something similar. And then feel and sense and experience this remembering of your double S spine, right? The double S curve, one curve, two curves. This is a really powerful, primal, integral template to the female body. Press your knees forward, shift your hips back, thigh bones go back. Feel the back of your heart, maybe even feel the glutes mound as you lift. And you can bring the arms out here, stretch the arms out to the horizon, and do a bit of side to side. Knees stay really bent here. And then bring your hands down, soften your belly, and open your throat. Feel the whole front body open. Back body is open and soft. Front body is open and soft. And then here, we're going to sway from side to side. And notice if your body is leaning kind of forward, can you really keep it upright? And it takes a lot of work. It's not a passive practice. Side to side, and really swinging the hip. And what that is actually doing when our body is positioned this way is it's opening the sit bone and allowing for opening in the pelvis. We're not closing the pelvis here to find our expression through the hip. And then here, keeping the legs as they are, can you bring the expression and the expansion into your arms, into your torso, really staying rooted in the hips, bending the knees, keeping your foundation really intact. And then from that foundation, finding your sway and finding your undulation. And finding your hip. Oh. And in this way, we're moving and we're really holding the vessel of the body in such a way that, we can receive our own life force and give it expression. And maybe the hips want to circle here. There's some really basic symbols of the feminine that we can bring into the body. And I'll share a few with you. And I don't want to break them down too much. I want you to really just know them as a template for your own spontaneous expression. So one is the circle, side, back, side, front, back, side. Knees stay super bent. The tail might tuck a little as you come forward, and that's okay. Keep the heart lifted. Okay, and then this movement here is more of an undulation. So an undulation, think of a snake And we can undulate through the torso, and we can undulate through the arms, and we can undulate through the whole body. Even the legs can undulate. Even the pelvis, even the head can be part of the undulation. So we have the undulation. And then we have the chest. We have the chest circle. Again, this feminine symbol of power and transformation, of life force. And I have never met a woman who did not know these movements innately in her body. There may be a period where you feel a bit awkward, where you're trying to do it technically and trying to get it right. But every single woman I've ever moved with has this knowing of these movements through her body. And I'm going to invite you to stay connected to yourself, stay connected to your body. Keep this dance, this primal, powerful, strong body stance, and move with that. The hip sway is another one. So you have the hip sways, the hip circles, the chest circles, the undulation. And can you find that place within yourself where you are not doing, you're not the doer, you're not the mover, you're being moved. And there is strength and stability in your body, but there is also incredible freedom because you have, over the last 4 classes, strengthened the container of your body, both the physical and the energetic container. Hmm. And you are opening to that feminine, erotic intelligence emanating from your pelvis and irradiating through your whole body. And the thing I'm going to add to this here, to really feel yourself, and you might need to slow down a bit, you might need to even pause. But I want you to say your own name. You will take a deep breath and say your own name like this. Blair. And feel that. So I'll lead you through that. Take a deep breath in and say your name. And take another deep breath in. And again. And last time. And then feel like how far out your name extends. Notice how it feels to claim your name, to claim, to say, this is me. And when you're ready, you can come back to your seat and find your block, find your position, posture. And here we're going to do something that is really fun for me. It's been really helpful for me in finding my own unabashed expression. I use it a lot with clients, and that's just to talk some gibberish. So you're going to take a deep breath in. You can keep your eyes open. I find that keeping eyes open is a great practice to stay out and in. And this is really important for those of us who tend to maybe lose ourselves in our inner world. Um, so we're going to take a deep breath. Like that. Okay. I want you to find your posture here, like really feel this posture supporting the infrastructure of whatever wants to come through you. So the knees forward, tail back, heart lifted. My fingertips are just on my knees here so I can keep lifting through the back of my heart, my belly soft, and my throat open. Breath in. And pause. And feel, what does that bring up for me? Where does that press up against my edge? Did I skip over this part? Do I think this is fucking stupid? Right? This is all information telling you about your relationship to your own surrender to expression. Let's do it one more time. Oh, damn it. No, it is hard. Honey, no, 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 but it's you, but it's me, no, no, but it's ha. Take a deep breath in. Exhale like you're blowing out a candle. In and out. One more time. And this is a great opportunity to actually bring some thought and translation of your experience onto the page. So I'm going to invite you to go to your journal and dialogue with yourself about your relationship to your own expression. Some questions that you might ponder as you think about this relationship. Where do I know that I'm censoring myself? Where do I know that I'm censoring myself? Where do I feel most free to express myself? With who, doing what? The last one is really important because it's said from many people who work with people at the end of their life that the last kind of regret of people on their deathbeds is often that they didn't live a life that was true to them. They lived a life for others or a life according to others' expectations. What part of you, like what is it in you that wants to come through? Another way you might look at it is like, what will I regret not sharing with the world if I never do? This is the purpose of all of this work. It is, yes, to fortify your body, strengthen your body, build your container, access deeper levels of life force, access your true erotic signature. But all of this is for you to be expressed, for you to be out in the world, free to be who you are. And we are all on a different stage of the journey with this. But I truly believe that this is why we came here. This is what this energy that we're inviting through is for, is so that we can emerge as the expression that we are here to be. Like I'm the little acorn tree, right? I'm the pine cone. Like I want to be the biggest pine tree that I can be, but we have to do the work of like what actually am I? What is the thing that I'm here to bring through? And that is the purpose of this work. And that is my prayer for you, for myself, for my family, for everyone on this earth, is that we connect with the intelligence of that template of who we really are. And then we work, we put one foot in front of the other to bring that expression into the world. And we, in doing so, actualize who we really are, not the ego, not the ideas and the preferences of what would make us happy and what, what would make us feel safe, but like who we really are and the gifts we came here to bring on earth. And so with that, I just want to thank you so much for walking with me through these classes, for being on this journey with me. There are a few different ways that you can work with me. I work privately, one-on-one with clients in a similar way as these classes. We work with the body to really dialogue with the body and find your template and then work with the mind in such a way that's like, well, what is actually what needs to be changed or shift in your real world so that who you are, who you came here to be, can come through. Um, and I just want to say thank you again. I'm happy that we're connected. Um, and may you take this information and use it in your life. That is also a deep prayer of mine. May it be useful for you and may it really assist you on your path. Thank you so much.